And on the very next day, the 11th, March, Japan, 9.1 magnitude. Yeah? Over 25,000 dead. Tsunami generated, expected to hit Hawaii at 3:07 a.m. 2-meter waves, 6 feet waves. Okay? I'm going to continue. The very next day, the 12th, Hawaii, 2.6 magnitude, a little shake. On that same day, on the 12th, Japan, aftershock, 6.8. Plus 125 more aftershocks in different areas. I'm going to continue until today. 3:25, which is the 25th of March. Myanmar, along the Thai border, 6.8 magnitude, 73 dead, 390 houses, 14 Buddhist temples, and 9 government buildings damaged or destroyed. 3:27, which is March 27, Japan, 6.5 magnitude. 3:30, which is the 30th, Tonga, 6.4 magnitude, 9:45 p.m. On April the 3rd, Indonesia, 6.7 magnitude, 9 p.m. And on the 7th, which is 2 days ago, Japan, 7.1 magnitude. Hawaii time, 5:30 a.m. Yeah? Now, I need to spend a little bit more time on this one that they just had 2 days ago. 3 dead, but how did they die? One person died from shock. Not electric shock, but fear shock. They went into shock, and they never woke up, and they died. Another one. And they died. Second person. That person was on oxygen. Electricity went out. That person died. The third person, we're not too sure yet because it didn't hit the news yet. Okay? Now, this is the interesting part. 3.6, because of that aftershock, the 7.1, 3.6 million households, no electricity. That covers 3 prefectures. No electricity. Okay, now let's put that into application compared to Hawaii. Let's see. 3.6 million households. Okay. How many people we have here in Hawaii? The state of Hawaii, all the islands, 1.3 million. So can you imagine 3.6 million? Let's break it down even more. How many households do we have here in Hawaii? We have 515,625 households. Just because of that one aftershock, 3.6 million households, no electricity. Huh? All right. And to kind of give you how it's like in Japan, Tokyo Disneyland, which is the #1 attraction and at one point the #1 money-making business. Tokyo Disneyland shut down because no electricity. And currently it is still shut. It's been a month now. Okay? Now let's break it down even more. Well, Tokyo Disneyland brings in $300 million in revenues a month, US dollar. A month. So what does that come out to a year? $3.6 billion a year. What is 1 billion? 1 billion is 1,000 million. A trillion is 1,000 billion. A trillion, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of big number. Yeah? I'm sorry. Especially 13 trillion. That's a lot. Ooh. And I would swear, I'm sorry, I would swear, I'm going to use a swear word, debt. Okay, anyway, I'm going to move on because I cannot stay on that subject. Whew. Okay. All right, let's move on here. Okay, so, every year I always teach about hurricanes, because hurricane season from June to November, right? Or November 31st. Okay, I always talk about that. But now we have this earthquake threat. Not only in Hawaii, but in the Pacific. Okay? That's a threat because it affects us, both with tourism. They're saying that all the debris will reach us in about a year. So now I have to talk a lot about that subject. But wait, June is coming up. Hurricane season coming up. What I'm going to talk about applies to almost all. You shouldn't fear. What does that mean, right? Well, I learned that night of the of this tsunami threat is I did my thing. All of my kids had their own responsibilities. My wife had her responsibilities. We had a checklist. You do this, you do this, you do that. Everything was so organized. And guess what? You know that night, they all went to sleep. After everything was over, we were prepared. We said a prayer. They went to sleep. But it was so comforting to see my wife sleeping. My kids sleep. Oh, wonderful. Yeah? If you're prepared, you should not fear. Well, they don't fear. They don't fear because they're sleeping. They're sleeping nicely. If they were stressed out because they didn't have the bags and they didn't have the water or containers or anything like that, then they would have a hard time sleeping. They say that in Japan, the tsunami hit 20 to 30 feet. Well, I read in another report that they found strollers and all kind of debris up 90 feet high. They say that the wave continued for 8 miles. But yet, some other report says that it went for 30 miles. We're hearing all these different reports. So you need to use wisdom to know what to do at that time. You prepare as much as you can, then should I evacuate, should I stay? A major earthquake hits the Big Island or around that area. The first wave should hit in about 6 minutes. Makapuya, that area. As it wraps around, right, it's predicted that it'll hit Hauula, that area, in about 8 to 10 minutes. So if you live in those areas, the inundated zones, or if you feel that you need to evacuate, then by all means, you need a 72-hour kit. Oh, wow. 72-hour kit is a 3-day supply. You need something that you can strap on and get out. This is a representation of my 72-hour kit. Now, we were very lucky because we had a person who actually was there in Japan, a family member. She evacuated. She came to Hawaii. Yeah, she brought her kids to Hawaii because of the radiation. Explained. But this is what she told me. She said that at that time it was so chaotic. Yeah? She knew that she had to evacuate. The husband was out somewhere. So she started packing things, kids' backpacks and all her packs and everything. She had a 72-hour kit too. And after everything was packed and she was ready to evacuate, she looked at what she packed and she looked at her kids and she says, how am I going to go ahead and carry the 5 boxes and packs and everything that she had, and yet take care of her kids? Yeah, eventually she came to Hawaii and she called me and said, Ken, I need some backpacks. I really need backpacks. Okay, I scrounged and I gave her 2 backpacks. If you're going to evacuate, brothers and sisters, you need to grab the biggest or get the biggest thing possible that allows you to have your 2 hands free. So let me put this on. This is the biggest that I found, which is 5,200 cubic inches. Now we have the internal frame. Now we have 10 or so straps and buckles to strap you in so that it molds to your body. It even helps you to push the weight forward so that you're not like this. You're like this as you're walking. Well, I think I've heard it all. This one sister told me, Brother Arima, too big, too heavy. Oh, my back. I said, sister, check on. I put it on. I strapped her in, and it made her back straight. You know, like a back brace. I said, sister, try walk. Yeah? Wow. She said, oh, this feels good. So if any of you want to try this after you come on, and I'll strap you in, and you're going to see it, keep your bag. Oh, right? You fill it up according to what you can carry. Yeah? Don't go ahead and say, well, I need to buy a small backpack because that's all I can carry. Oh, no. You buy the biggest one. That's like this here. Oh, Brother Arima, too heavy. You know, to stand in line to get your water. Yeah? 5 gallons, that's too heavy. Well, sister, just fill them up 1 gallon then. Or fill them up 2 gallons. Fill it up according to how much you can carry, but buy the biggest one. Because you might see your nephew or a young man in the line. Hey, brother, come over here. Go stand in line for auntie. Yeah? Hey, you can carry this for auntie. Or fill them up and ask somebody to help you. Or you can carry this to auntie's car. Yeah? Or can you take them home to my house, please? Okay. Oh, what do I have here in the corner? Oh, my. Something I have to talk very lightly about. I have a fake bat, I have a copper pipe, and I have some wire. All right. What does Brother Arima have this year? Well, this right here is a representation of a weapon. I'm very sorry to say, brothers and sisters, but ever since Hurricane Katrina and the atrocities that the human being will do in times of desperation and need, hey, forget Japan now. Japan people, they're courteous. They stand in line for 12 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, and no problem. But we have learned from Hurricane Katrina that when you're desperate, And when your family needs food, you might steal, you might hurt people, and you might even kill.